115, and we are mobile. I'm riding on the 405 freeway, going north, headed back to the San Fernando Valley. I got called in to do an editing job last night. I got called by an editor friend of mine who I work with, and drove all the way to Venice, Marina del Rey, California area to do some editing work with him, and wasn't able to be home in my studio to do the Corner Store podcast. So I was like, what the fuck? I might as well just go ahead and do it while I'm driving. I got some stuff I got to do. So I might as well take this 30 minutes or 20 minutes to go ahead on and do the podcast this way. Appreciate y'all being here. I am mobile today. Had some editing work to do, and basically ended up having to drive out from the San Fernando Valley to Los Angeles in order to do some editing work last minute. I actually got the call from the editor at like 12 midnight, and he was like, yo, can you come in tomorrow and do some editing work? And I was like, yeah, I could do that. So always, money's gonna take precedence, even though my podcast is just as much generating income as anything else that I do. But if you have a situation where somebody's going out of town and they need some editing stuff done, and you have the capabilities to help them out before they take off, because I think he's taking a red eye tonight to Philadelphia to complete the mission, so to speak, at least his mission, I should say. So I was there to do some help with him today. So this is how we're doing the podcast. Hopefully you can hear me and everything's good. Like I said, I'm traveling on the 405 North, heading back to the San Fernando Valley. So I definitely wouldn't have been in time to get to the studio and set up and do it by 10 a.m. That's when I set this up. So what the hell? Episode 115 of the Corner Store podcast is hosted by yours truly, OMD, Old Man Dex, aka Doc Savage, the man of bronze. And what we're gonna talk about today while we sitting over here on this bumpy ass freeway is the thing that I wanted to talk about, I should say, is Bronny James. Now, Bronny James, everybody is on his ass. Pause, no diddy. On the fact that he was picked 55th in the second round. The kid only played one season of college basketball. Averaged 4 points and like 2 rebounds and maybe 3 assists. Now, there were players in the Pac-10, which is the conference that USC, the team he played for in college, plays for, that were all Pac-10 players, meaning they were the best in their conference. Whatever school they went to, they were the best, and they didn't even get drafted. Hell, some of them are free agents right now, and they're trying to squeeze their way in on an NBA roster and actually feel like, they're an NBA player, even though they're better than LeBron James' son. The word nepotism is getting thrown around a whole lot. Nepotism. And for those who don't know the definition of nepotism, putting it in layman's terms, it's basically you're getting things handed to you because your parent, whether it be your mother or your father, is in a position to hand it to you. Or if it's nepotism, like if you had a cousin that worked for the DMV and they had a job open and they got you the interview and you never worked at the DMV, actually you probably never had a job before, and there's people well deserving of this job other than yourself, and they decide to give you the job. So I don't know if nepotism is a thing that's going on with LeBron James' son, Bronny James, or Bronny James, LeBron James Jr., who decided to call himself Bronny. For those who didn't know that, his name is not Bronny. That's his nickname. His real name is LeBron James Jr., and he decided to call himself Bronny to kind of set himself aside from his father, which most sons do. Everybody, I like that about him. I like that he wanted to make his own way in this world. Well, if that's the case, you don't need your father. You don't need to play with your father. If that's the case, if you want to make a name for yourself, Bronny, you definitely don't need to be playing with your father. You need to be playing against your father. Not to prove yourself better than your dad or anything like that, but to just prove that you could play the game, period. Because I'm sure you looked up to your father as the quintessential end-all, beat-all of basketball. Everybody's calling him the GOAT over Michael Jordan, which I think is a mistake. I think LeBron James is in the top 5, no question. Since I got in the valley too, it's gotten hotter. So hold on, let me turn on this AC. He's definitely LeBron James has definitely uh, proven himself to be one of the greatest players who have ever played this game. That's for damn sure. There's no doubt about that. But he's not even in my top. He's not my top 3. The top 3 players I have in the NBA is Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think Kareem is highly, highly underrated as a player. He's a Hall of Famer, 4-time champion. I think he's won the MVP several times. I don't know how many. I think about 4-time MVP. Kobe Bryant should have won more MVPs. Shaq should have won more MVPs. These are all things that shoulda, coulda, woulda. But one thing that's for damn sure is nepotism is a factor. Nepotism is a factor in the case of LeBron James' son, Bronny James. There's no fucking way at all that man's son should have been chosen in the second round, 55th. Bronny James should be fighting for a spot on the Lakers. He should be fighting for a spot on the Lakers, meaning there's a possibility that Bronny should be going to the CBA or whatever they call, not the CBA, but to the, what do they call it now? It's not even the CBA anymore. They should send him down to that elite team and he should play with them, as far as I'm concerned. Because he's not ready. Does he have great form? Can he shoot? Can he do all that? Yeah, he could play basketball. There's no doubt about it. He's been doing it ever since he's a little kid, following his father's footsteps. We can see the ability. But I believe after having a cardiac arrest, and I think, and let me say something about that. This is gonna sound really, really weird coming from me, and it's gonna actually sound kind of fucked up. But I'm just gonna say this because I don't know if this to be true or anything. But do we actually know if that boy really, really went under cardiac arrest? And I hate to say this, LeBron, if you ever see this live video and your son almost left this earth and everything, I'm not trying to downplay it or nothing. But it seems like everything today done by everybody, people who are trying to be president, everybody's got this narrative that they're trying to portray. This narrative that they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Are you guys trying to say the reason why Bronny is going to the league now and didn't stay at USC is because, he had already had the cardiac arrest thing, and, you would think after him almost dying that he would probably want to go one more year in school just to prove himself. Just to prove that not only he's in shape, but he's in good health. That he can run up and down the court. But instead, what do y'all do? Once he's cleared, he goes and plays for USC, doesn't play all that well, and you had to figure that was going to happen after the health scare that he had. You had to figure that was going to happen. And the fact that it remains that the brother just can't shoot that great. He don't have that killer instinct. I was watching Cam and Mace on their podcast. It is what it is. Shout out to Cameron and Mace. And one of the things that they notice and see people like me and them who are from the hood. I'm from South Central Los Angeles. I played basketball at Crenshaw High School, class of 1984. We were city and state champions. I rode the bench. I ain't gonna front. I wasn't the greatest motherfucker, but I could have went to any other high school in the city and started. I could have went to any school in the city of Los Angeles and started. They didn't call me Duncan Dex. Go look it up. I can send you photos to prove all this. They didn't call me Duncan Dex for nothing. You can't give a nigga a nickname about Duncan if he can't be smashing or dunking on motherfuckers. In other words, I could play the game. I wasn't a jack of all trades when it come to the game, meaning I couldn't do everything. I could dribble good, I could rebound, I could play defense. I didn't have the greatest jump shot in the world. There was still holes. Eventually I probably end up being super dope, and I did work out and play real hard. But when I first came to Crenshaw, I wasn't that good of a basketball player in the ninth, coming out of the ninth grade to the 10th grade. But be that as it may, I knew my expectations wasn't high. There wasn't a lot of expectations for me to be doing too much of anything when it come to basketball. I get it, but I ended up becoming a great player and was third. My name was third on that list for being on the team my senior year after tryouts. So all I can say is, if you have a father who's one of the greatest players in the league, has been one of the greatest players in the league, that you can learn under, have tutelage under. And I don't see why you would even have any health scares, to be honest with you. Maybe it was genetics or something like that. You got a defect. One thing about African American men or black men is I don't know what it is about heart failure and congenital heart defects and stuff that we have in our bodies, but we do. So that's a possibility that he's just just been sickly all this time and nobody's known. But to be honest with you, Bronny James has been given the golden ticket. And the golden tickets were given to him because his dad is LeBron James. And they're just saying, fuck it. It's a marketing tool. It's a marketing tool. That's what I think. I think it's a marketing tool to sell tickets. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why they think that. Jeannie Buss is is the owner of this team. And she's not really making all of the rules. I'm sure her decision is the final decision when it comes to player personnel. But Rob Pelinka, and that's another problem about this whole thing. All these people that are involved with this are too close to LeBron James. Pelinka used to play on LeBron's high school team. One of the few white guys that played with LeBron. He became an agent, and then he became a lawyer. He was a lawyer, and then became an agent. Now he's a general manager of the Los Angeles Lakers. It's too much conflict of interest going on this team. Rich Paul is LeBron's, who played on LeBron's high school team too. He's his agent, as well as Bronny's agent. And they're all too fucking close to Jeannie Buss. It's almost becoming, the Lakers organization is almost becoming very Dallas Cowboy-like. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely a conflict of interest. It really is. And the fact of the matter is, that team's going to suffer from it. LeBron James is 37 years old. How long do you think he's going to be playing? I know y'all don't think that they got Bronny James on this team because he's going to replace his father when he retires. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way that's going to happen. There's no fucking way that's going to fucking happen. Bronny James is going to be a mid-level player making the league mid-exemption or minimum by his third year. He got a guaranteed contract. That's another thing. Rookies don't get guaranteed contracts unless they're top 5 or lottery picks, which Bronny James was not. Bronny James was not a lottery pick, not by the closest of imagination. And because of that, you have to know that this is nepotism. Because of that, you have to see that this is nepotism. This kid's been given so many opportunities that he does not deserve. And that's just the truth. Opportunity after opportunity that he does not deserve. In a sense, LeBron is proving that rich people can put their kids in any situation they can, and it'll be a winning situation. This proves that. This proves that. And I hope people ain't sitting there going, oh, well, there's another brother talking about another brother and their family and the whole nine. There's a lot of people that are on LeBron's side for getting his son, for doing something so unprecedented. In those terms, I love it. Just imagine this. Let me put it to you this way. What if Bronny could ball his ass off like Tracy McGrady or Penny Hardaway? What if Bronny could put it in the hole like a motherfucker? And let's say he's looking like he's better than his dad. We wouldn't even be having this fucking conversation. You know why? Because every team in the fucking country, every NBA team out of the 32 teams in the league will be trying to get his son. The Lakers would have never had a chance to even draft Bronny. That's why he stink. And that's the reason why I'm saying he stink, is because I think he's playing possum, to be honest with you. I see the game. I see the possibility of him having some real nice game. They must know something we don't know. Or he's just going to be terrible. He's just going to be horrible, man. He got to be a bum. He's going to have to be a bum in order for all of this to be proven, what people have been saying about nepotism and all that. He can't, his success, he can't have success because they're going to make fools out of everybody like myself who've been saying stuff about Bronny James and everything about LeBron. His wife has come out and said, I'm tired of everybody criticizing my son. You guys put him in this situation. Y'all put him in this situation. He's under a microscope now. We talking about millions and millions of dollars. If I wish they would just come out and say this is a gimmick. This is a gimmick. We got him because he's the topic of the day. His father is one of the greatest players ever played in this league, and there's a possibility that they could play together on the same team like Ken Griffey and his dad did in baseball. That's all I'm thinking that's what's going on. I'm thinking that's what's going on. It has to be. It has to be what's going on. It's got to be a gimmick. It can't be real. As far as I'm concerned. To be honest with you, I'm talking about this, but I'm only talking about this from the retrospective. How many people do you know, regular, like myself and yourself or whatever, could actually get away with doing what he's doing and getting his son to play with him on the team? How many people you know could get their son to be, like if they were on the board of a company? Well, shit, come to think of it, that happens all the fucking time when you think about it. There's a bunch of guys that their son might not even go to college, and next thing you know, they're sitting on the board of directors at a Fortune 500 company because their dad's there. So nepotism is all over the place. So to be honest with you, now that I really think about it after I came up with that point, to be honest with you, LeBron has every reason to do what he's doing because it's been done before, generations after generation after generation. If you can put your kid in a better situation for their life, for what they're trying to accomplish, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? In this situation, though, the only thing I could be mad at is the fact that it's a billion-dollar company that's trying to win basketball games for the city they represent. Now, if Bronny James is going to hinder that, going to come onto the team and not be a help of that, I mean, then why do it? If y'all just trying to sell tickets, by the middle of the season, nobody's going to want to give a... If Bronny goes out there and stinks it up, nobody ain't going to give a shit about no tickets to no Laker game because the Lakers ain't going to be winning. They're not going to be winning. Who wants to see Bronny hit 25 or finally get it to where he can drop some dimes and do what he do if the Lakers are fucking 24 and 54? Who cares about it then at that point? That's crazy. This is what I wish I could have been back in the studio so I could have my notes, but I don't have my notes. I have some other things I wanted to talk about, but this is mainly what I wanted to get at because it's such a hot topic right now. Also, it looks like, just to change the subject and go on to the next topic before we finally get up out of here. Diddy Selling your house for $71 million here in Los Angeles and also trying to sell one in Miami. I think what you're trying to do is make New York your home base because they're going to be coming for you, bro. An indictment, for those who didn't know, an indictment on Diddy is coming down. They haven't hammered out the date yet, but he probably will be being indicted here soon in the next 3 or 4 months because they're building the case. And the case has a lot to it, from sexual, from essays to STs, from sexual trafficking. This has become a big topic. A lot of people that are known, from podcasters to vloggers and all type of different people, have been getting, uh, caught up in sexual trafficking allegations. This has become a hotbed. A hotbed. Women's issues is one thing, but it's getting to a point now where you can't even tell a chick her hair is pretty, and she'll scream out sexual assault. But in the case of Diddy, bro, they're gonna underturn. What made you think, Sean Puffy Combs, that you could just money goes to motherfuckers' heads and they think they could take a shit in your fucking lap and act like you ain't gonna do nothing about it? They're gonna put you in a hole, man, so deep and so dark. Your money won't be able to pay off all of the goddamn corrections officers or whatever facility they gonna have you in, and if it ever gets to that. Do I want to see Puffy go to jail? No. I want to see some. I don't care what Cassie did to him. She didn't deserve to be beat the fuck up in the hallway and dragged or nothing. And I'm gonna tell you right now, just like Stephen A. said, Stephen A. Smith, who I can't stand either, and I'm gonna talk about him before we get out of here. Stephen A. Smith said a long time ago and got suspended from ESPN, in regards to women and them being jumped. I think it was the Ray Rice situation they was talking about when Ray Rice beat his wife up in the elevator. Stephen A. said women trigger men to do things. They can say stuff, call your dick little, all kind of shit. That's true. But there's no license, there's no time ever that you should put your hands on a female. If you feel like you need to knock a chick out, it's time for you to leave. If she won't let you leave, it's time for you to run. You ain't scared of her, but you are scared of the thing she's trying to do, and that is get you railroaded into prison on some allegations. These women are using their power. Anytime you give anybody some power, they're going to lean towards using that power and abusing said power. I'm all for motherfuckers getting their day in court and being getting justice and adjudication for any woman that has been wrongfully fucked up or beat up or sexually assaulted by anybody. But now that all of this stuff's coming to light, I think a lot of women feel like they can use this to their advantage. And just saying, just start saying, oh, well, he did this or he did that or he did this or he touched me. It ain't always the case. Now y'all just using the shit just as a weapon. And it's fucked up. It's fucked up. But if it wasn't for people like Diddy and people out there that's pieces of shit that do stuff to women, we wouldn't have to double back like this. It's just the world we live in, everybody. And speaking of Stephen A., before I get up out of here, because it's going to be a quick episode today, episode 115, because I had some previous shit to do. Stephen A. Smith. Bro. Come on, man. You mean to tell me your podcasts are so whack to where you got to say, why did they mention O.J. Simpson at the BET Awards? Why would you give a fuck? He's dead. He was accused of killing a white woman, was found not guilty from that. Obviously, you didn't like the not guilty plea, because as far as I'm concerned, when they say not guilty, he's not guilty. I don't give a shit what he did to her. There's so many people out there beating bitches' asses and whooping them like they fucking stole something, and you got the nerve to jump on with the white people. It's almost like you as mad as the white people that he got away. Don't speak on no shit like that, bro. You want to talk shit about something? Talk shit about your hairline. Talk shit about ESPN. Talk shit about Malika Andrews and all her bullshit. Talk about, y'all, look inward before you look outward. But I know what that was all about, Stephen A. I know what it was all about. You all about clicks. You talking about everybody else all about clicks. Nigga, you about clicks too. Because you know you're not long for ESPN. They about to get rid of your ass like they got rid of all of these other high dollar correspondents and people on there. First Take is number one because ain't shit else on TV to watch at 7 o'clock in the fucking morning. What you gonna watch? Good Morning America? No. We're gonna watch some sports shit. We really don't need none of y'all motherfuckers. All we need is the highlights of what happened. Like you can run Sports Center all day. Motherfuckers will be cool with that. We don't give a shit about you sports pundits talking that bullshit about this one and that one, accusing, oh, he got accused of rape. What about the game? What about the motherfucking game? Who won last night? Who won the fight? That's all we want to know. Fuck your social commentary. Go do that shit somewhere else. You don't like OJ, you think he killed him? Fine. But if BT want to honor that man and say the juice dead, let him. You shouldn't have shit to say about that. And I'm going to leave it alone. It's your boy OMD Dex 300. Whoever's on the live right now, thank you for the thumbs up. Remember to like, subscribe, and also comment. Leave comments on all the content I have, from beat making to comic books, the whole 9 yards. Corner Store podcast on Corner Store TV. That's your boy OMD. I'm out. Y'all have a good fucking day. Always keep your head up. I'm going to holler at y'all. Slide.